check out the All-American Otaku Show. It's gonna be awesome!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the All American Otaku Show. This episode is about epic battles in anime. There's a lot of good things about epic battles and the fights and the participation of a fight and rivalries and stages set to more and more better and better things in anime. A lot of people who watch anime are we call action junkie animes, like my friend Gabriel Mike, who's all about epic battles and action, 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 action. And usually, when it comes to epic battles, it goes into what's the idea of story, what led to this epic battle, what rivalry there, instead of just okay, we're going to have these two guys fight. It goes to their why are they fighting, who are they fighting against, and what is the story behind their fight. Now let's get started. An epic battle in anime I'm going to talk to you about is the first one is Naruto versus Sasuke. This starts off as Naruto, who's kind of the knuckleheaded ninja who comes in there, couldn't even do a clone jutsu correctly at first. He starts off as sort of a miniature miniature intelligence. Everyone looks down upon him because of his infliction of having the nine-tailed fox, while his rival, as well as friend and squad mate Sasuke, who's popular, who has all the girls there, everyone wants to be him, looks up at him as this really cool individual, and looks at him as this next in line to be Hokage or next in line to achieve great things, who was part of the Uchiha clan, who was wiped out years ago by his brother Itachi. Eventually, these styles of clashes when Sasuke ends up joining Orochimaru, a snake forbidden jutsu user, versus Naruto. They end up clashing in there using one nine-tailed fox abilities, one using the curse mark abilities. They go up against each other and bash heads into several epic battles in this anime. This the battle between those two seems to be resonating when you look at epic battles in anime. It's usually stated as Sasuke versus Naruto, not only with their rival, with their Naruto's love interest Sakura, who actually likes Sasuke, who ends up Sasuke and Sakura ended up together and having a couple kids in Boruto. It shows the idea of the epic battle, epic scales. Naruto trying to bring Sasuke back home to the fold, while Sasuke wants to prove his strength and Naruto being in his way, as well as keep treating Naruto as a major rivalry of his, leads into a very epic battle between those two in multiple occasions. This is a clear example of epic battles in anime. This leads on to my next one, Vegeta and Goku. Vegeta and Goku play off each other, trying to make each other stronger. When one raises up, the other one raises up, and so forth and so forth. This battle started off on Earth when Vegeta comes in there investigating what happened to Raditz, who was completely destroyed by Goku and Piccolo. Goku ended up dying in the fight, going into the afterlife, and then coming back through various Dragon Balls and so forth. And eventually, he ends up facing Vegeta, who is the prince of all Saiyans. Saiyans, a warrior race that take over various different planets, various different lands, and so forth. They come in here. Vegeta wants to taking over and show his strength and show his Saiyan dominance. Him and Nappa. Eventually, this leads into a battle between Nappa and various Gohan, who is extremely powerful. Leads to the Yamcha, who gets killed by a Saiyaman, as well as it leads on to Tien, who fights him, and it goes on to even Piccolo, who fights him. But then it ends up going to the clash between Goku and Vegeta. They ended up come there where Vegeta was going ahead, leaps and bounds better than Goku, but Goku used Kaioken to fight Vegeta. And then Vegeta, to try to get the edge, goes into ape form, who it goes in the ape form, starts crushing Vegeta, Goku, and crushing him and crushing him. Goku ends up fighting back, and then till the part where Yajirobe, a samurai character, chops off the tail of Vegeta, who he reverts back to normal size. Goku ends up beating him, and Krillin was about to stab Vegeta with a katana to kill him off, and Goku says no. He could be useful. He could be good in there. This leads into more one training arc going there, as well as the fight between Majin Vegeta, who Vegeta becomes bad for a little bit, versus Goku. And then leads up to epic battles, epic rivalry, which makes him stronger, which makes his story stronger. This is one of the more epic battles in anime there is. The next epic battle in anime I'm going to talk to you about is none other than One Punch Man. This One Punch Man versus into season 2 is One Punch Man versus Boros. Boros is a alien being who wants to take over Earth and take over everything. Well, One Punch Man got the name because most of his battles he defeats them in one punch. Even comes with a song, One Punch, Saito, Side, hey Saito. They fight each other. This is one of the few fights that Saitama fights that he doesn't defeat in one punch. They go into more serious punch and epic battles into space, moon. They go battles into Earth and various other things as these ship is trying to come down and take on Earth. But Burroughs eventually says to Saitama, I'm not even close to your level. And Saitama eventually beats him and destroys his core and defeats Burroughs. People are expecting the battle like this in season 2, but One Punch Man or Saitama ends up defeating most of his enemies in one punch and one aspect of it. And I can't talk about epic battles in anime without mentioning Luffy versus Croc. I'm only going for this one. Most people say Flamingo, but I'm going for this one because this is one I actually seen. They had Croc, who was one of the warlords, trying to take over the desert and try to take over things. Luffy, he wants to fight for his friends and become king of the pirates and find the One Piece. They end up both sides and clashing. With Croc ended up stabbing Luffy in the chest, almost killing him, and until Robin, who betrayed Croc, ends up getting Luffy and getting him back to health and restructuring his body, while Croc is in there going for this epic, huge battle between revolutionary people in there using his broke works to come there and try to take over trying to take over their field of all their gold and all their treasure of this land, setting political discord. And eventually it goes for Luffy comes back and finds a clever way to beat Croc. Though ones with devil fruit powers can't use their powers if they're wet or with water because they become like lead. So he uses his own blood to be able to punch Croc through the sand and everything else, and eventually knocking him out and defeating him, which in the cost of more scars and blood and aspect, and thus ending the war when rain started falling on the land and purifying everything. This battle was beyond epic. You didn't know if Luffy was going to survive or how Luffy was going to survive or fight this fight and how he's going to defeat Croc. This leads on to my final epic battle in anime. That's none other than the anime Akira, where you have Kaneda, who is a bike gang leader, who has a motorbike of this red speed bike with red there, and Tetsuo, who was his friend and member of the gang as well, who end up clashing when Tetsuo ends up with his huge massive psychic powers, which leads into the stadium where they were going to have the Olympics, where eventually had Kaneda versus Tetsuo, chant Kaneda, Tetsuo. They fight each other with guns, and you have lasers coming down in space. You have Tetsuo mutating his arm, going there, turning into this big fat thing and absorbing Kaneda. Kaneda fighting him on the inside, eventually release when Akira comes in there and destroys everything and resets and destroys the city. You have Kaneda and Akira, which ends up Kaneda and Tetsuo end up fighting. Tetsuo trying to find what Akira is. Kaneda trying to find and save what's little of his friends and try to save the city itself. This is into with laser battles, psychic abilities, force field, space, all these above in this epic battle itself. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit like and subscribe.
Welcome to the show where anime dreams come alive. Let's go! All American Otaku fight, diving deep into the anime tide. From the screen to the page, from turning every stage. All American Otaku where worlds collide. dreams. Japanese culture bursting at the seams. On the line is till now, the passion's been real. Anime and manga, it's how we feel. Conventions and scenes, cooking up dreams. Japanese culture bursting at the seams. All American otaku feel the vibe, diving deep into the anime tide. From the screens to the page, we're turning every stage. All American otaku where worlds collide. I'm there and Mr. Pat by my side, exploring every genre, let's take that ride. From action to drama, it's all here. Community strong, let's make it clear. Otaku dreams, we're chasing the light, exploring new stories every day.